What is up, YouTube? My name is Bella. You might know me as OnlyJayus. Welcome to the Dream Show. I'm here with Jesse from LyonMentalHealth, and we are here to tell you about your dreams. If you want to interpret your own dreams, we got the Awaken book right here. It's a 90-day journal where you can understand your dreams, understand like what they mean, and you can start to lucid dream, but also just plan out your day, get better sleep. It helps me a lot. There's that right there. You can check it out on Amazon. But today we are going to literally react to your guys' dreams. We got some dream videos sent in. I'm very excited to know what they mean because I watched them and I tried to understand a little bit myself. But we got the dream expert right here who really is gonna educate me and get like some deep psychological thing going on. Yeah,
We're on it. We're on it. I'm thinking real hard. I put my thinking cap on this morning.
Let's go! I think I need to find my thinking cap. I lost it.
We were talking about this before it started. It's been a long week. My little baby has a cold. He's only 4 months old. But oh my gosh, if you've ever been around a child that has some kind of sickness, they are up all night. So 0 sleep. Which is actually interesting because new parents tend to have more like lucid dreams and more dreams because they're up and down all throughout the night. So it's easier to like remember your dreams. Interesting fact.
It's kind of the thing, like they think they get up, or like they're scared something's happening. Like a lot of their anxieties like get to them. Have you experienced that? Like,
yeah, I had a dream about like him falling in a pool and drowning. Like that was terrible.
do you have a pool?
Yep.
Okay, the valid fear.
Well, it's Florida, so everybody's got pools down here.
Okay, valid fear then. But
yeah.
Ooh, yeah, no, I don't think I could handle that. I have some bad dreams about my dogs sometimes, and it's not comparable, but like sympathy.
Yeah, but still, like those are your little responsibilities. So yeah, absolutely.
We got the first video up right here. Dream number 1.
So I had the craziest dream and it horrified me. It horrified me to the point.
Okay, so I had the craziest dream and it horrified me. It horrified me to the point that I literally have never mentally said anything mean about myself since then. It was horrifying. It was terrible. And I'm going to tell you that dream. Try and stick with me because it's a little bit long, but I'm going to cut it down the best I can. But, okay, really, really long story short. I'm going to like cut the whole first half down. I was driving with my boyfriend like a really long way. There were no trees, like literally nothing around us. And then all of a sudden, after driving for like 3 hours, we see a sign for a petting zoo. And then I saw another sign and another sign, another sign. And then there were like 10 signs in a row for this random petting zoo. So we were like, okay, weird, let's stop. So we stopped, got down at the petting zoo, really weird, super vacant, like absolutely nobody was there. And we were able to like, you had to like crawl through a whole bunch of like caves in the ground to get to the entrance. So we went down and there were a bunch of kids, like a bunch of teenagers, and they were all like, oh, do you want to come into our petting zoo? And I was like, I mean, yeah, we've been driving for like 3 hours and I've literally seen nothing on the road except for like 10 signs for this petting zoo. So we just kind of stopped. And I was like, what kind of animals do you have? And they were like, well, if you look underneath you, we do have like a python. I'm standing on top of a massive python. So that was weird. And then they were like, look behind you, there's an orca whale. There's this like sad little orca whale stuck in a tiny little tub. And then they had like alligators, which I am horrified of. And they had like the goats, the typical goats you can go pet. I was like, this is weird. We're going to go. So I tried walking out and then they ran and like shut the door. It's like one of those garage doors you can shut. They like shut the door and they were like, haha, it's like getting kind of drafty in here. We're going to shut the door. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was trying to go out the other side and they ran and started to shut that one. And I screamed at my boyfriend, Jordan, and I was like, we have to leave like now. So we sprinted out with all these like teenagers from this petting zoo chasing us out. And we got back to our car. We started driving. We were driving for hours and hours again. And there was absolutely nothing going on. And all of a sudden we get to a fork in the road, of course. And I go, crazy, fork in the road. What do we do now? I turn around and I look at my boyfriend. Boyfriend's gone. Because why not? So boyfriend isn't there. There's a fork in the road. I didn't know what to do. I know it's a dumb decision. I got out of my car. And I walked straight into the forest. It was like a fork in the road and like a forest in the middle. I walk into the forest. I get into the forest. There's like, I don't see anything except forest stuff. But I turn around and I hear rustling in the bushes. It's a monk. I don't know why, but he's sitting there and he's like hiding in the bushes and he comes up and there's like a big valley in the center of like the forest and he's like looking inside the valley. And so I'm going to have to make a part 2. I already know I am. But he looks inside the little thing, and then he hides, and then like he runs off, and I'm like, well, this is the only person I have seen forever. So I chase him too. Eventually there are like 20 monks peeking over the edge and then like hiding again. I was getting really scared. I look down, it's a bunch of tractors like pulling up.
Alright, so I did not find her part 2, so I will have to do that for the rest of the dream, but I feel like all of that we need to unpack first, because that was a
tease.
lot. Okay, first of all, I don't know if petting zoos...
Good luck, Bella.
Oh my
I'll
God,
catch you when you finish.
I don't even know.
It's too much for me. No, I'm
Do petting
teasing.
zoos mean anything for people's subconscious, or is it specifically for her? Like, does she just have some weird attachment to a petting zoo that she might, like, we don't know about, or is there like a secret dream meaning about petting zoos?
You know, this one kind of got me like for a minute, because I was like, petting zoo, like that sounds like a good time, like that sounds like great, but then it was like a bad petting zoo, so I'm like, wait a minute, that must not be what it means for her. I'm thinking because animals all have like different sort of like emotional meanings, I think that the petting zoo is just like this environment where she's touching on different parts of herself and her emotions. So like the snake, she's touching on sort of that like maybe darker part of herself. The orca whale is like the maternal side, the mother side, because whales are maternal and motherly, right? And so it's like sad though, so it's like the broken mother inside of her, these different things. So my initial thought was that it was positive, but I think it's actually more of like a context for her to explore different parts of her personality, and each animal is a different characteristic. That's kind of my theory right now.
Yeah. And maybe even like the children and the teenagers trying to like keep her there at the petting zoo could mean something. Like,
I think like trapped
I don't know
inside
how
her
old this
mind.
person is, but maybe they feel like they're trying to like grow up a little bit, but like something in them, like their childhood is like holding them back. They're trying to keep them there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, being a teenager is like a huge
but
transition phase in your life too. So I wonder if it's like some changes.
Changes. I think also the fork in the road. The fact that she didn't pick either path and just went down the middle, that's fucking amazing. But also her boyfriend wasn't there. Like, her brain got rid of her boyfriend because it was like, this is your decision. You gotta make this. He can't do it. Just went in the middle.
Yes.
And the whole, like, monk peeking out and, like, running away, and then, like, peeking out and running away. That reminded me of Lion King. I don't know what that meant in the Lion King.
Same. I was like, where's the stick?
Yeah, just beat it with a
What does
stick.
it matter? It's in the past.
But then it turned it into 20 monks, and that was the end of the dream. I'm gonna definitely find her part 2, and we're gonna watch that next week because I need to know what happens at the end. But what does all that mean together? Like, her brain is just kind of sounds like it's like dumping. Like, here's this weird ass story. Good luck.
Yeah, I think so. Usually, whenever I get somebody who has like a really long dream, dreams tend to be very simple. Like, the message they're trying to share is usually pretty simplistic. And so it will throw dream interpreters off when they have a really long dream because they try and turn it into this grand story. Usually it will repeat the same message over and over again. So I think the message that's kind of being repeated, which is very simple, is like she needs to explore different parts of herself and not be stuck in like this black and white thinking that she probably gets into. That's kind of what I think. And so the fork in the road is huge for that. Like, do I go left or right? It's like, well, life's not that simple sometimes. Maybe you need to be more creative and find that third option that really is authentic to you, you know?
Yeah, that makes so much sense, and you can see it in each of the pieces of the dreams, like, following her. And that's another thing, guys. Like, you might remember a dream from last night, but you didn't necessarily just have one dream. Like, most people dream, like, they have, like, 5 or 6 of them throughout the night, right?
Yeah.
So that's crazy that, like, the meaning kind of followed through. But yeah, that makes sense. I like that interpretation.
That's where I'm at with it, man. I don't know, maybe we can get her. She'll comment and let us know if we're close.
Bet. Also, friendly reminder, if you want to be on the dream show, all you gotta do is record a video, tell me your wildest dream, and then go tag the horizontal page over on TikTok. Just take your video, pop it in here with Jesse, and we'll react to it. But if you want to interpret your own dreams, again, the Awaken Journal is a great way to do so. You can find it here on Amazon. Rah.
That thing about not asking people in your dreams what time it is because they'll freak out and attack you is true, and I'm going to tell you what just happened to me last night. So in my dream, I had died, literally just died, collapsed in my bathroom, and my consciousness kind of like got stuck. I could kind of see myself like on the floor dead, and I was like trapped almost like in a box where I could see other people around me, but they couldn't see me or hear me. I got so fucking mad. I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not dead, bitch. I'm not dying. I'm going to find a way back into the land of the living because I have not found my soulmate yet, and all I've ever wanted to do is to fall in love. I need to fall in love before I die. No, I'm going to find a way out. So I could feel myself kind of like wiggling through almost like timelines. I don't know how to explain it to you. And I jumped into this thing. I don't know how to describe it. It was almost like a pool. And when I jumped into it, I jumped back into my body. And when I got up, it was almost like I had never died. I just like, instead of passing out and dying, I passed out and then got up and everything was normal. But everything around me was much different. So the people in my life were all the same, but they had different lives, different positions. People were switched. Their jobs were switched. They had different careers, but everyone was the exact same. Like one of my friends was my boss and another one of my friends was my coworker. It was just weird. We all had different lives. Anyways, I quickly realized that I was aware that things were different, but nobody else was. And it was almost like people were saying action and we were all playing a role. It's so weird. It was like I was pulled out and I could see that we were almost like on a movie set. And I was like, no, we're playing roles here. This isn't who we are. This isn't what we're supposed to do. But I figured, okay, let me play along with the role. And I could almost tell that a few people were slightly aware that it was a movie, or at least playing pretend, because this isn't the normal life. But they weren't saying anything. So I was like, okay, I think they know, but I'm just going to play along. Almost like they were trapped here as well. Hard to explain. And so anyways, I was a cop. I don't know why. And we were sort of trying to solve a mystery. I guess we were detectives solving a crime. I don't know. And I was really getting panicked because I was like, I can't live like this. Like, this is terrible. Like, they were talking about the mob attacking and we were trying to solve it. And I was just like, this is not my life. Like, I can't live like this. I want my old life back. What the fuck? So then I remembered on TikTok, someone said, if you talk to the people in your dreams and ask them what time it is or something personal, that they will like sort of attack you or do something crazy and they'll wake you up. And I was like, okay, that's how I'm gonna get out of here. So I turned to my friend who ended up being my partner, who's also a cop. And I said, did I ever have a dog? And he looked at me and he was like, yeah. I said, do you remember when and what his name was? And he furrowed his brow and he said, his name was Charles. And it was in 1969. So I looked and I was like, oh, okay. And he goes, you know what's gonna happen next, right? Then pulled out his gun and shot me. I woke up like, also, I was way more confident in that timeline. What the fuck?
What? Oh, wow.
That was a lot. Okay.
My guy died twice in his dream. Rip.
Dying in your dream already like once is a lot and enough, like at least for me to like wake myself up. The fact that he kept dreaming, but like he said he like didn't really. I liked the whole part though where everybody in his life was there but playing different roles, like acting, but like one friend was his coworker, one friend was his boss. That's kind of, in my mind, probably the hierarchy that he has for himself in his friend group or like around his peers is like, oh, this person's above it, they're my boss. Even though in real life, not actually the boss kind of thing. But him being a cop sounds interesting too. Like you know? What's your take on asking people, like characters in your dream, what time it is? Because I've seen this a lot. Like, it's hard to tell what time it is. They're not going to know what time it is, so why are you asking them? He says that if you ask them, they're going to attack you, which is what happened to him. But, like...
It's all expectation. Like, I get this one all the time, and I make so many videos about it. Like, if you have watched a video on TikTok or YouTube or whatever about, like, people turning on you and attacking you in your dreams, and then you try and do that, well, what are you expecting to happen? You're expecting them to attack you. So what is your dream going to do? It's going to attack you. But there are so many people who, like, ask people, like, what time it is, and they just don't know, like, or they get confused. So it's all about expectation. If you're expecting the dream to turn into a nightmare, it's probably going to turn into a nightmare, because that's how dreams kind of work. Now, the one thing that you are doing, though, is your sense of time kind of lives in this part of your brain, but you dream in this part of your brain. So if you are asking your dream what time it is, your brain does get confused and it'll do something weird. Now, it might not attack you, but it probably won't know how to answer you because you're like, I don't know how to do that. Time? it's relative.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that like time here, dreams back here, so like your brain doesn't want to. I mean, you can't tell because you're fucking sleeping, but it doesn't want to. It doesn't know how to do the work to even like process some sort of answer.
Yeah, there's a couple things like that. So you can also ask your dream characters like, or tell them that they're not real and that they're just a dream, and that will also kind of confuse your brain because it really is something that you're experiencing. It does feel like a reality because it is a reality. It's dream reality. So when you tell that reality that it's not real, what's your brain gonna do? You're confusing yourself.
I've done that.
It's gonna have some weird response.
I remember I was walking around a gas station in a dream, and Lindsay Lohan was there, and my brain was like, "There's what?
Yo.
No." I stood up on top of some sodas, and I was like, "I'm dreaming. None of you are real," and they all looked so confused, and then I woke up. So,
yeah, because it's
exactly
like, well, we are real because we're here in your dream.
It was just like, huh? Like, they thought I was crazy, but I was right. I was right.
I knew it. I knew it.
Little detective work.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's a crazy dream. Interesting that this individual knew that they were in a dream. So it definitely counts as a lucid dream for them. Anytime that you're aware you're dreaming while you're dreaming, that's a lucid dream. But I think, I think the part about them being a cop is unique because it may mean that they're being a little legalistic in their lives. I don't know. Maybe the cop is a good symbol, but when I think of cop, I think about like judgment, guilt, legalism, like very, you didn't follow the rules, so you're in trouble now.
Like black and white thinking kind of things.
Yeah, black and white thinking, which like in my job as a mental health counselor, a lot of people don't know, you can pay attention to your own thoughts. And if you start to engage in black and white thinking, being very much like this or that, it's usually kind of like a trauma response. Children think in black and white, and so it's childlike thinking. So oftentimes people who have unresolved emotional struggles in the past will engage in black and white thinking because they haven't overcome that struggle and they're not able to actually engage in the conversation of life is nuanced. And maybe the answer isn't yes or no, but it's sometimes. So I think all of that's interesting. And then what you said about their characters being different, like having different roles in their life, very, very spot on. I think they're processing some things and kind of reinventing themselves.
Sick. Cool. Great. Let's go to the next one. I don't know where this accent came from. I apologize for.
So you know how they say that in dreams you can't see your phone, or it's like a universal thing where like no one has had a dream where they're like looking at their phone. Also, look at my nails. Aren't those such fun holiday nails? Anyways, so I just had a dream the other night, and me and my cousin met Selena Gomez, and she also told me that Rare Beauty Joy blush is her favorite liquid blush, aka the one that I use. So yeah, whatever. Me and Selena Gomez were like best friends in the dream. She was so nice. Anyways, I ended up being like, oh, could we like get a picture? She's like, yeah, of course. So then like I'm holding something and like posing with her. She's like, oh, lift it up, blah blah blah, and like trying to get me to angle it properly, and then we take the picture. Tell me why I was holding a spoon. I literally was with Selena Gomez taking a picture with a spoon. What is this?
That's great. Taking a picture with a spoon. Do you remember when you were a kid and you would look in your cereal spoon and see yourself upside down?
Oh yeah, like move
and
it
like
all
you do that all the time.
Try like
Yeah, and you're like, I remember being a kid and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why have I this way? Nope, it's still upside down. Still upside down. What the hell?
I always try to get it to stick to my face, but I know what she's talking about. Like, I've never been able to just like think about my phone, look at my phone, and see like my phone. How it's supposed to be seen. Thank you. How it's supposed to be seen in my dream. It's always either like way too like long or like moving, and like I know what she's talking about, and I'm not too sure why it happens. Like, I've never just seen my phone, or like texting. Texting, I feel like I need glasses kind of thing. Like, I can't actually see what's going on.
Yeah. Well, so again, the verbal and the language processing centers of your brain are up here, which are predominantly turned off while you sleep. So you're trying to text and use letters and read off of your phone. Your brain don't know how to do that. Those centers are turned off, baby.
Oh,
it's all back here.
That makes sense. Oh.
Yeah. I do think the spoon thing is interesting. I've got a crazy theory, right? Because of the upside down way that you see yourself in a spoon, I wonder if she's seeing like a mirror image of herself or an alternate version of herself, and like that's the message of the dream. Like, hey, you want to be appreciated, loved, cared for, adored by other people, much like
Yeah, I
Selena
was about to
Gomez
say, like,
is.
you
So
kind
here's
of
my
want to
friend
be
Selena
Selena
Gomez.
Gomez. A little bit.
Yeah. And so I'm seeing myself with Selena Gomez, and I'm trying to remember this moment, take a picture. But this moment is the opposite of what my waking life is. So I'm using a spoon because I see my image upside down. That's my theory.
I like that a lot more than just randomly holding up a spoon. Like, she probably, like, I'm not sure how, like, definitely saw, like,
No,
the
it's got
reflection in
meaning.
the spoon. You took a picture with it, but then you're like, wait a minute. So I like the deeper meaning rather than just being random. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I made a whole video on my channel about the cell phone thing. It's totally bunk. So what happens is, like, someone will put a tweet out of, like, isn't it weird that we don't dream about our cell phones? And everyone will retweet it who doesn't dream about their cell phones. But there are hundreds and thousands of people who dream about their cell phones all the time. But those aren't the people who are retweeting that tweet. So they just skip over it. So it's like this self-perpetuating lie. And if you look at a bunch of videos on my YouTube channel and my videos, like, I fill the comments with all the people who have seen their cell phone in their dreams. So it's totally
I've definitely seen my
garbage.
cell phone in dreams, but I've always thought it's because I'm literally, like, on my phone all the time. My screen time is embarrassing, so it's kind of just getting in there.
I'm not sharing my screen time. Nope.
No,
You
I
can't-
think we
can't make
should
me.
now. Like, mine's gonna make you feel so much better about yourself. I promise you. If yours is
God, all right,
worse
let's
than
do it.
mine, then we have a problem. But actually, I've been doing kind of good lately. Wow. Oh, that day was bad. I don't know what the fuck I was doing that day.
Maybe I'm not too bad. Hold on.
Mine is usually
literally
way
don't
worse than
check.
this.
I guess I'm not terrible.
Okay.
All right. What is yours for this week?
Is 9 hours and 30 minutes.
Okay.
Is yours worse?
So mine is 3 hours and 30 minutes.
Oh,
a day.
let's go. That's not even embarrassing at all. That's so good. Bro, this is
I don't know. What is? Leave a comment. What is your screen
No,
time? I
please.
want to know right now.
I really want
we
to
need
know.
to do a poll.
I want to know everybody's screen time because this is really good for me. 9 hours and 51 minutes. I'm under 10 hours. I used to be like 12, 13, 14 hours a day. I don't know what the fuck.
Damn.
Why? How?
That's like all your waking time your screen is on. Wow, your battery must be dead all the
18
time.
hours on TikTok. I have multiple phones and multiple chargers, so we're good. I got more screen time on other screens.
One for the plug, one for the load.
It's really bad. But yeah, let me know your screen time. If anybody's got
What is
me
my
beat,
TikTok?
I'd love to pay for your therapy. But yeah, thank you, Jesse, for helping me interpret these people's dreams. I think it's so cool. I like learn a lot about myself and my own kind of dreams too. Yes, thank you so much.
We are 2 of the 20 monks right here to help you with your dreams.
If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like. If you're new here, subscribe. Go check out Lion Mental Health over on... I got all the descriptions down in the comments. You can do it. I believe in you. Go check it out. Love you guys.
Of course.
Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.